Is this thing on? Hello, everyone. Welcome into another stream. It has been a while since the last one. I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting for so long. The last one was September 1st. It is now September 22nd. I'm sorry, not September 1st. Yeah, September 1st. September 1st, it has been about 3 weeks. 3 weeks since then. How are you all doing today? Hope you're all having a great day. As you can tell by the title, it is not a Mlln talk. Mostly because I didn't really write anything down. I've kind of forgot. I should have as the week's been going by, I should have been putting some topics, talk about here and there. And then when we got here, I would have some stuff to go over. But I didn't really do that today. I don't have any Mlln facts for you. I don't have any positive news or anything really. I guess just a little quick update. Life has been good. School is okay so far, not too bad. Homework hasn't been too hard. It's like I said, it's mostly writing assignments, so I do struggle a little bit on that. So it's taking me a little bit longer. Obviously, procrastination is not the best skill to have either. But yeah, so I'm trying to get everything done. I've had pretty much everything done for the week. I still have technically one assignment left, but it's just a paragraph. A paragraph technically, just a couple more sentences. I have to write a total of 300 words. I have 234 right now. So almost done with that. And it's due tomorrow anyways, so it's alright. And welcome in, Lunar. Hope you're having a great day so far. Isaac and T48. So yeah, let's get into the stream. We are playing the second stream of Stanley Parable. If you haven't seen the first one, please go check it out. It is on the channel. I didn't create a playlist for it apparently the first time we streamed it, so I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the playlist I just created. So now those two streams will be in the playlist. But yeah, so let's go ahead. When I got into this, I was like, oh no, it did not save our data, because it asked for the current time, so I put it in. This is what I got afterwards, after putting in the correct time. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. Oh, wait. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. They are, by the way. I literally put in the time. Obviously, I set it a couple minutes ago, so it was like 6:50 something. It's currently 7 o'clock. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Tempting. However, we will set the time correctly every time. Alright. Don't know where to start. Just typing on the keyboard. Alright. So once again, this is kind of just a puzzle game, sort of, I guess. Multiple endings. But, we can kind of just do whatever, really.
All of his co-workers were gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
We already did that.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that
We already did that. We already did that. The appendants act as a safe house for safe bacteria. Can I not read? The appendix acts as a safe house for safe bacteria. This bacteria is used to flush out any harmful bacteria that makes its way to the intestines. Interesting. Oh yeah, this is where we ended off at new content. We gotta try out the new content, right? Like, the weather's not too bad, actually. I don't think it's raining. I think it's actually like 80 degrees. We gotta try new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Yes, new content. New content. New content. Hey, this is just the loading screen. Whoa, it's actually moving a little bit quick. Wait, this is something that the narrator made himself.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy.
I went biking today, and on my way back home, it started raining. Interesting.
One step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Stanley Parable 2?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly
like
plot
summer
with a
or
few
winter?
minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll
I
cover
prefer
with a fully
winter.
fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
The end is never the end. Again. Stanley Parable 2. Investor Showcase. Nothing there. Huh. So we went from one game to another. We're on the second version of Stanley Parable. I guess let's go to the Investor Showcase.
Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now
the
that's
original one, like the no, I have
right
not.
There. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
If that's what you mean. A person prefers summer better. The coldness of winter needs a scent that makes my brain. Yeah, but that's what makes it better. Being depressed just feels nice sometimes. Sorry if my screen's like a little fidgety or whatever. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Okay. Sorry, hold on. Boring sections of the chart. Cool red section of the chart. Okay. Old and busted. New hotness. Hey, yo, what? Dangerously depressed. Ah. We don't want to be dangerously. We just want to be funly. You know, just for funs. Stanley Parable 2. 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 Thanks for attending my meeting. Babe, I have a couple things to be put away. Your laundry, your dirty clothes.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs.
Concepts, but
Just the
surely the
red
game will
marker.
sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Alright, I have no idea what we're doing right now. We're just going around like their warehouse or whatever. Portal 2. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. That is crazy. Alright. This way to the show floor. But what if I want to go this way? Oh. Take my picture. Take my picture. Remember, you can't sprint in this game. You can't. You can crouch.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
What the heck? Alright, we definitely have to try out everything, right? Alright. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. That could be dangerous. Maybe we won't try that one out. That's something maybe... Maybe not. I don't know what it would say. So there's 3 new things. Office decoration, Stanley Parable, reassurance bucket, and that. Okay. Oh no, there's more than 3 things. No screenshots. A whole new office. Where is the new orange? The baby is all grown up. The new updated ray traced more of this in, but in a good way. Oh my gosh. This is actually kind of cool. Let's go over here. Free new collectibles. Okay. My mind is being blown right now.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Oh no, we don't have to jump anymore? Dang it. Merch. Scan that QR code. What does that take you to, huh? What does the QR code take you to? Okay. It actually takes you to a website. Here. Let's do this. I'll send it to you guys in the chat. There we go. Now you guys have that. And let's go ahead and pin it. Because why not? Let's go to the bucket of reassurance. Or the reassurance bucket, I mean.
A common complaint of the Stanley parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in
There's
those
nothing in
who
there.
played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley parable reassurance
Whoa,
bucket.
it's
You see,
floating.
Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on.
Language. Okay.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the
Who
face
laughed?
of
Was that
crushing
us, the
despair,
narrator, the
must already
bucket?
be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, I can get out. Okay. Let's go. Let's take our bucket.
Does anyone give out awards
W,
for
ice
most
cream.
enjoyable bucket in a video game? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday or happy 12th birthday? Step niece. Happy 12th birthday, step niece. Or get well someday. What balloon do we want to pick? Which would you guys rather have? If you were to get a balloon, what would you rather have? Get well someday? Happy 12th birthday, step niece. Also, if you're wondering what this bucket is, it's called a reassurance bucket. Get well someday? Alright, sounds like that's the one we're picking. Unless anyone has any objections. Alright. This one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
It didn't matter. I guess it did not matter. What the?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. There's so much new stuff. We don't want to go to the exit just yet. We are here. We just went from 3. We went to B2 to the bucket to number 3. Now we're there in this... Or no, wait. Did we go to 3? Yeah, we went to 3 because N is that. Yeah, N is the jump room. I'm pretty sure. I don't even know anymore. Let's just look at these collectible things, and then we'll go to the infinite hole. Or no, we're not going to the hole yet. That would be one of the last things we do. Yeah, we'll go. We'll go with collectibles.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley
Yes.
Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh. Okay. We got one. It's 1 out of 6.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, we got a new reward. We got 1 out of 6. Get it here. Free, new, and easy trophy. Trophy? Pull the lever, receive a new trophy. No more steps.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a
That's
wizard,
crazy.
but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
No way they just debated us like that. What happens if we just keep trying to pull it? That is crazy. They really got us with that one. Not gonna lie.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Okay, let's go up here. Infinite hole, free trophy. So there's that thing, but let's keep going up. What happens if we just keep going up? Okay, nothing. Got it. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. So we've already been over there. The only thing we haven't done yet is the infinite hole. Oh, it was really fun actually. I really did. I think I actually enjoy it a little bit better than Doors. I think so at least. I had a lot of fun on it.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Hold on. Let's try and see if we can look around. Because we gotta try and find those, what you call it? The collectibles. There's 6 total. We've already got 1. Yeah, you definitely should. It was really fun. I haven't been on Roblox in a while, but I think we should do a stream on just that next time.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? It's infinite.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to
No
say that
way.
it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're
Can you
so
teleport me back
clever.
now?
Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Yes,
What
yes,
a
yes,
normal
yes, yes,
person
yes, yes,
actually
yes,
wants
yes,
to
yes,
fall
yes, yes.
infinitely.
Me,
I
me, me,
figured
me,
the hole
me.
was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I
Reassurance
think we both
bucket,
said some
reassurance
things we didn't
bucket.
mean.
I'm
Why
happy
don't
in
we
my
just
little
put all
own
this
world.
behind us and
Reassurance
agree to
bucket,
just call the hole
reassurance
mostly
bucket,
infinite?
reassurance
If that works for
bucket.
you,
I'm happy
then go
because I
ahead
have
and
my
press the
reassurance
teleport button
bucket.
to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Reassurance bucket, reassurance bucket. I'm sitting at the bottom of an infinite hole. How is that possible? Because it's not really infinite. I don't know, but the narrator lied to me. Why are there cigarettes down here? Who's been smoking? This paper says every pause button is a Roman numeral. 2. Can you guys read that? Just the two. Oh my gosh. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. That's what that says. Anyways. What does this say? I honestly don't know what that says. Meeting. I think that says the same thing. Meeting at 2 p.m. New mug. Does anyone know what that says? I honestly can't read it. All I know is it says meeting at 2 p.m. Alright, I think it's time for us to go back now. Or should we wait here for 2 minutes? Spinning around, spinning around, spinning around. Yeah, this new DLC talks about 2, so maybe wait for 2 minutes. Reassurance bucket, reassurance bucket. Oh, magic reassurance bucket. It feels like I'm trapped at the bottom of a well, but it's actually not a well, it's an infinite hole. But it's not infinite, it's actually finite, because it has an ending. And I'm at the bottom of it. I found the ending, all by myself. I'm all down here by myself. Someone has thrown a mug and some papers and some cigarettes down here, and I couldn't catch it in my bucket. They thought it was infinite. They thought it was infinite. The trash will eventually pile up, wouldn't it? Thought it was infinite. They thought it was infinite. The trash will surely pile up. Oh, to see the surface once more. Oh, how I long for the surface. Daylight, daylight. Outside. Grass. What does it look like? Let me out. Please let me out. I've lost my teleport button. I don't know where it's gone. Maybe this hole really is infinite. There is another hole hidden in here that I can't fit. But the teleport button, it sure can. Oh, daylight, let me out. I can see the top. It's calling me. Has it been 2 minutes yet? I feel like it's only been a minute. Spinning around, just like my mind is. Spinning around, just like my mind is. Going crazy, 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 just like my mind is. Crazy, 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 just like my mind is. Why can't I jump only 30 times in that little circle that says jump zone? Kinda similar to this area, but it's not a jump zone. It's the bottom of an infinite hole. You lied to me.
Great. Now,
Oh,
I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I didn't see anything down there either, unfortunately. No collectibles. But here we go. Come on now. Okay. What else is there? Oh, we were in there for 2 minutes. Good. This still show the balloons. Yep. Happy 12th birthday, Stepanice. Man, I want to jump already. Also, if you're wondering what the pinned link is, the link is that. I scanned the QR code and I pinned the link that QR code took me to. I have a feeling we're going to have to do that, but I don't want to. I don't know what it's going to say. I don't think I put my real name in. So, oh, what's this? Exit. Okay.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
If only I had a sprint button, I would sprint back right now. Who's selling? Stepniece, what is her name? Is she still 12 or was 12th birthday just an important event? Good question. So I wonder if we picked the Happy Birthday Stepniece, would it have went to the other balloon then? Would it have just done the opposite? Or would it just do that anyways? Alright, we're playing a very dangerous game here, but let's see.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
This could be dangerous. I'm back. Okay. You guys ready?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified.
No!
Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
How do they know?
Let's have you
Oh,
roleplay as
I
Jim
got it in stream,
to really
guys.
simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as
Bro. How? How did they...
Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
Feel it? Oh, wait, hold on.
Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Seriously, how did they...
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
I don't want to, Mr. Narrator.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
No! 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 Let me press the button, narrator. Let me press the Jim button. No, my real name is not Jim. Man, this narrator.
I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
I went the long way around. Am I okay? No. We haven't been looking for collectibles. We've only found one. Are there no more here? Well, we're gonna have to find out. Going to the exit, going to the exit, going to the exit. Oh, would you look at that? Stanley! And the narrator's name, Jim. New mug. No screenshots. You heard that, everyone?
Stanley, what do you think?
Take screenshots, take
Do you
pictures.
like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah. Let me in, let me in.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
Let me play.
Okay, never mind.
Let me play.
Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes.
No, let me get the collectible.
This is
Let me
much
play.
better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley?
Why are there
This
two?
isn't a coherent video game
Two of
at all.
everything.
It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating
Three.
gags, but they don't add
Four.
up to anything.
4 collectibles. Let me get them.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the
Let
magic
me
of the
in.
first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Yeah.
With respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But
Yes,
it would
yes,
need
yes,
a
yes.
really tremendous title screen.
Yeah.
A title screen that says with bold and
Yeah.
uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2."
I can see it already,
Let's see
buddy.
if I can whip something up.
Yes, do it. I can see it.
Perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
I will. Just as I envisioned it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending,
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
this job. And Stanley was happy.
Imagine if that was an actual
And then
job,
one
just
day,
pushing
something
buttons.
very peculiar happened.
Like in
Something
certain
that would
order, stuff like
forever
that. You're
change
just getting told what
Stanley.
buttons to push, and how
Something
long
he
to
would
push the
never
button.
quite forget.
Stanley Parable
He had
2!
been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Why not?
No one had showed up to give him instructions,
Why not?
call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This
That's
complete
crazy. They have the
isolation.
balloons out.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Happy 12th birthday,
Click
Stephanie.
a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No, 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 no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
Hey, why is that
would
blocked
say
off?
That's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. Stanley picked up the bucket.
We found our reassurance bucket. Yay! No, the content is gone. Boo!
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I was not expecting that voice.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not
What if I
question
don't?
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I found a collectible. We can't get it yet, but we found it.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about
It's
it.
not just a
This
bucket, it's a reassurance
misunderstanding
bucket.
could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't.
Let me out!
Please.
please, step in here for a moment.
Are you gonna kidnap me? No! What? Oh, game show.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right?
Do we
should
answer
tell us
this
everything
truthfully?
we'll ever need to know about what is
Yeah,
or
we'll
is
answer
not
truthfully.
a bucket.
What is and what isn't
Okay,
a bucket.
Let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Wait, what? That actually broke my mind.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Bro, what?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Being played here.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Nuh-uh.
Item 4.
Whoa.
Is this a bucket?
Duh.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an
What do you mean?
enormous
You put
machine
something
that
in it.
tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
That is a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
You just showed me the same thing. Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? Bro, this game is it's breaking me.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Yes. Yes, it's a bucket. Yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here.
What do you
And I
mean?
don't appreciate
It's
the
an invisible
implication that
bucket.
nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No, I believe a bucket is everything.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
He broke us,
I...
but we also broke him, so I'm okay with that.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
No, 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 no!
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
I love this game so much. Bucket, Jesse Bucket, Jesse Bucket, Jesse
All
Bucket.
of
Hold
his
on.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Check all the
Stanley decided to
computadoras.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Why is there only one now? It used to be more. Alright, do we actually go to the left this time?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket
We don't have the
calling to him,
jump
telling
button,
him
though.
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, we don't need jump.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked
Oh my gosh.
might lead to the separation of himself and the
But we
bucket,
do need to get rid of
his
stick
dearest
drift.
friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
He's
How deeply it touched him.
insane. We were right there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay. Let's try not to fall this time.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Stanley
Bro!
feared that
Oh
any
my
path
god.
he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket.
I don't know, that's
His
what
dearest
it's called. It's called reassurance
So he threw
bucket.
himself to his death, that they might die in one another's
This is the
arms.
hardest part of the
How
game.
deep
Stick
it
drift. Are you serious?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wait. Where's the computer?
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Where's the computer? The vent, I'm assuming, takes us back. Like, that's our way out from there. After we get the collectible.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Maybe we just crouch.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than... No, never mind. The bucket
With
was
the
wrong.
description word that the
Stanley
nerd
took
used.
the door on his left to go back to
Address
the meeting room.
reassurance. Who knows? Okay, I think we'll
Now,
crouch because
said
we
the
don't
bucket.
move
Don't go to
far.
the meeting room. Go
Left and
somewhere
left.
else.
Like
The
left to
cargo
right.
lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Trying to be careful now. Where are we?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track.
This is not the narrator.
Feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
What it just happened? What in the world was that?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the
For
bucket
me.
alone.
For me, for real. Okay, guys. Did we go to the left
Stanley
door yet?
touched the bucket
Do
tightly
we?
to his This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
We literally still haven't gone that way. I think we've
No,
gone like
said the bucket.
twice.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo
Okay, here's my
lift.
thing. Do we actually go all the way up or do we jump down again? like jump down there to that door. I feel like we did what is going to be there, so I think we go all the way up. I feel like he's just gonna do the same thing
Good.
and
said
just do the bucket thing.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
I don't want to
There's
test
something
it.
up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question
Not
why
right
or
now.
how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better.
I would not take orders from a
Isn't
bucket. I would not take orders from a bucket. I would not do it. I would not do it. I would not do it. This is my reassurance bucket. You are a liar.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is
What the-
comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last?
Alright,
How can it
lesson.
be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its
Free comedic
entirety within
lessons.
90 seconds?
Free
Thankfully,
comedic
the answer
lessons.
to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for
I don't know
good
about that one,
comedic
buddy.
timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the
H20.
joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to
H20.
begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the
Got
joke
it.
has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
I'm Dunny
now.
with the funny. I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good.
Okay.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations
Okay.
management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Got it.
Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times.
How did the T-48
just to
make
ensure
the
the
joke?
survey taker is
Didn't know
actually paying
social
attention
interactions.
and not simply filling in
Dunny
answers
with
at
the
random.
funny.
And that's all there is.
Alright, let's see.
With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all.
Bro, look at the
Just
chin on
remember
that
to let
guy.
them stop
Oh
laughing
my,
at some
he's
point, you gut-busting
mewing.
little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to
Why are
fight
they all
the
smoking?
12-legged invader who threatened our very existence, and a very likely
Bro, they
die
just
in
turned
a
into. Oh my
hailstorm of
gosh. What
bullets
is the
and
game? What is the game?
mandibles.
What is the game?
All of us must be prepared to give our lives
What's that game?
to
What's
this
the game?
noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So, with that in mind,
Hell divers, there we go. Just turned into hell divers.
Is for us to return to the 2 doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
How dare you?
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept.
Telling you it was hell divers.
The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket.
That's what happens when you put autoplay on YouTube and then you fall asleep and you just wake up.
Oh,
You fell asleep to How to Be a Comedian and then you woke up 2 hours later to babies being the war soldiers. Ah! Anyways. Sorry if I burst anyone's eardrums there. I'm Dunny with the funny.
You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
I want to go to the right. I really, really do.
What? We're back at the phone already?
Oh.
No, what's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in
We did
this
the right
scene
thing.
with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake.
I can't. It's unplugged.
I don't deserve
He didn't
the
plug
title
him back
king of
in.
comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think
It could have worked. All you had to do is plug the phone in.
I think I
would have
need to
answered
go
it.
back and rewatch that instructional video again.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Oh, no.
Here we go. You ready?
Okay, okay.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Da 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 da. Boom.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the
He's gonna
door
get
on
it
the
this time.
left.
He will get the joke this time. Da 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 da. Ah.
What?
Bro, plug
We're
the phone
back at
in.
the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of
Wait.
2 open doors,
Hold
they
on.
entered the door on the left.
I think I see what's happening. I'm not gonna click a certain button. I'm gonna see if he keeps talking.
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Okay, no.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket
We'll give it one
came
more
to a set of
time.
2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Because Fred is just gonna keep saying this.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket
Okay.
came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Fine.
No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud
Ain't
of yourself
no
for bringing
way.
me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions fail in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not?
You've got to say I'm done with the funny.
Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so mental, I think I saw it playing guitar.
I'm done with the funny. Bro, you have to say that part, or else it doesn't land. You have to say I'm done with the funny, or it's not gonna land. He's forgetting that very, very critical part. Very crucial part. Obviously, he didn't watch the video if he's forgetting that. That's like the main part. What happened? That's what I'm gonna try and do.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Hey, yo, what? Wait, what? That's new dialogue? That's very new.
Good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket.
What do you mean someone's
Off
following
on
me?
Another thrilling adventure together.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left.
He said someone's following us.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets...
I don't know, actually.
But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket
I actually don't
asked.
know. I can't think of any song names on the top of my head that would be funny.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
There it is. It's me, your bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Take me back home with
Lately,
you.
I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press X for us to go back home. Okay. I don't know what loud man you're talking about. Whoa!
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk
TV
of
time.
metal.
Press triangle to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket. This sort of shiny bucket.
Is it nighttime?
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm rude, don't you, Stanley? Press to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what
Bucket?
am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Bucket. Press to go home to work. Home. Press to go home to work to home to work to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No.
Wait.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket?
Who's
Hear
having
what
feelings for the
has to say,
bucket?
Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
My bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Where's the bucket? You took it. He took my bucket.
All of his
He took my
co-workers
bucket. He
were
took my
gone.
bucket. He took
What
my
could it
bucket. He
be?
took it. He took it. He took it.
Stanley
He took
decided
it.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Whoa,
missed a
wait,
memo.
hold on. The layout is different. It's different. Give me my bucket.
Where
Give-
are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I want to go to the right again, but we've been there. We've done things, but it's different. It's different now. The layout is different.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket.
Sounds the
Don't go to the
same.
meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket.
We've
Now
only
ride
found
the
2
lift all the way
collectibles
to
so
the
far.
top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't
Now,
talk.
nothing happens
But
with the
Stanley
employee
chose not
lounge.
to think
It's just the
about this
same
obvious
dialogue he
fact.
says
He was
when we
firmly
first go
convinced
there
that
in the
bucket had
first
spoken
stream.
to him,
The same
and he
dialogue.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here,
said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Nah,
pick
he
up
does
the
the same
phone,
things, I think.
Said the bucket. This is the sad story of a man
Okay,
named
yeah, it's the
Stanley
same.
and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him. The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, as well, to see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object, I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. His stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine.
I was actually able to do it that time. What the heck?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more,
But what about the bucket?
Sturdier,
I already read that. What am I
more
talking about?
capable of transporting liquid.
Okay, yeah, come
Like
on.
it would be
Come on,
better at moving
dialogue.
an amount of water from one room to another.
Come on.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water
Come on,
from
dialogue.
room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel
I
so
forgot we're
need to
still in the
point out
sequel.
ways in which it's so
We're
much
Stanley
more
Parable
than
2
just
still.
a regular bucket.
Completely forgot.
Oh no, I'm having feelings. The bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with
Wait,
me? I
what's-
don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it.
No.
Give it to me now. Give it or I'll... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fine, we'll go to the left this
strong
time.
bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Whoa! Trust the completionist instinct. There will be a reward for finding them. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Something both red and blue. Is this some kind of game? By a fireplace. Small place for an important person. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know what somewhere both red and blue is those two doors. The red and blue doors. So we have to go there without the bucket. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Maybe we are the collectibles. Wait. Oh, just a critical self. I many questions from engagement management. How can you tell who you spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? Follow clues provided by employee 416. Red room 416. Stairs. Stairs. Okay, something to do with stairs. Something to do with stairs.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We found one!
Another miniature Stanley figure.
Yeah!
This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, Stanlerine. Alright. Let's go. Red and blue. This is staircase though, right? That's not the red and blue. This time we'll go upstairs though. We haven't been here in a very long time. Oh. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines
and Figlies.
What do you think,
Smelly
Stanley?
place and red and
What name
blue.
better
Yes.
encapsulates the
So
intrinsic
fireplace.
sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the
This
corner
is
of your
smelly
screen
but
door
important.
by
The restroom. So now fireplace and then red and blue. I know where the red and blue thing is at. We can't do it right now though. And then fireplace. There's a fireplace up here, isn't there? What is going on to that panda? No, we haven't really
Stepping into his
gone
manager's
here.
office,
Fireplace.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
So there's some sort of code we need.
And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
And so it's not this
At
fireplace
this point,
then.
Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2845. You know how hard that's going to be for me? 2845.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
2845. Let's line it up here.
2845.
Line it up.
But
Yes.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Fireplace. Two 2845. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You've nearly
Yes.
gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Going down. Yeah. I know where the last one is. We're not going to be able to get it though, because we have to go to the
elevator
right
raced downward, plummeting towards
when
an
it tells us
unknown
the two
fate.
doors.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
And I don't know if we
Everything
can get there
will be
without the
fine.
bucket. I mean, I don't know if we can get there with the bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I'm not trying to be mind controlled.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I don't see anything wrong.
Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yeah, I have the trusty bucket. What happened?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on
What's
how
going on?
meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
I got my bucket with me. Hello. I look death in the face.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Wait.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way,
Wait.
but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Welcome to the grand exhibit. Standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind that what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? What the heck?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in
Yes.
his short life?
A bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life. Having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental, every year dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Wow. Oh, right here, 25 buckets. Whoa. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to many buckets at once. That looks like more than 25 buckets, I'm not gonna lie. But okay. Oh, there's 2 ways to go. Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. Definitely more than 25. Okay, I want to go this way because that goes upstairs too. Okay, yeah, it's just this room. Okay, good. The stress bucket. Presented without commentary. Stress bucket, an analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Yes. Ancient bucket. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Okay.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging buckets. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more than is always out of reach. That is always out. This distance inevitably is for our own good.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
We just had to do it.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Here's the thing. If I take the bucket, I'm not able to get into that room. If I take the bucket with me, we can't get the last one. So I'm not taking it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first.
Bro, his dialogue did change
left.
now. He just said it was okay. That's crazy.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone.
Okay, one thing I don't remember is how we got to jump.
Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but
See, if we brought the bucket, we wouldn't be able to go.
To show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
Yes,
This is
6
doing
out of
something
6.
just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Go to the blue one?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Fine, we'll go to the red.
Oh, thank God you
We'll
are
do what he
willing
actually
to listen
says.
to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Should have went to the left.
Don't
I
you
mean
see
to the
that
blue.
it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
Oh, we're back to here.
It's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, No, wait. Where are you going?
Sorry, narrator. We have to get back.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No! Oh, no. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If
It's
you
not
die,
about
we'll
you.
both go back. Why
It's
are you
about
doing
me.
this?
It always has been.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
No.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
I'm doing
I
this
just
for
wanted
your
us to get
sake.
along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you
I
wanted to
am
make a
getting
choice
slower and
after
slower
all.
though.
Well, this one is yours.
See you at the beginning.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Wait, the balloons are gone. Our balloons are gone.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's just... It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
What?
Just one more time.
What's going on? When Stanley found collectibles. Alright, whatever. We've already been through here, we've read this stuff.
Here's where it all began.
Yes.
The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Are we gonna collect all 6 again? Wait, 7?
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest.
I'm surprised it
back
didn't
then,
fall.
I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Should we go the wrong way? Because it was the stairs, then we went upstairs. Yeah, we should go the correct way.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see.
Is that correct?
Next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
What? The pink room? Yeah. Yeah, the pink room.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Nah, bro, you need to upgrade this quality. It's mini stand number 5. You found it behind the boss's office. Thanks for watching. Best boy. That's crazy.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Oh, I thought that was another way.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
I got 12 of them. Obviously, we've got to pick the blue door.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
No! You tell me that's it?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
What?
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Okay.
I must say, of all the
Who can truly
figurines
see
we
how
looked
the
at in
mind
our
works,
initial
especially with
tour
the
of
memories?
Memory Zone,
Some
this
memories are
one
gone, I
is
never
the most
remember it
distinct
again.
and
Others
clear in my
remember
mind.
before they
Let's keep
happen.
going. I want more.
Also, the more you remember something, the more you're remembering you remembering it. Just letting you know. It's a crazy thought, isn't it?
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
Okay. Yes, the human mind is truly fascinating. Alright, now the pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yes, it is. Bro, so okay, let's speed it up.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
What? Oh, I want to go that way. Alright.
This was our second Figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Can't believe I made it past that as well.
This is it.
Again.
The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories.
I have no idea.
I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Alright, we're at 18. The jump. The jump. The jump!
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Alright, we're just going down memory lane now.
Oh, yes. The two doors.
Left
Who
or
could
right,
have
left or
forgotten
right,
that?
left or right,
Classic
left or
memory,
right.
this one.
Where are we going? Sorry, hold on. Just texting my mom. Texting my moms. Alright. Left. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there
The
something
bucket,
that
the
came
bucket, the
before
bucket, the
your
bucket, the
office?
bucket, 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 bucket,
There's
bucket, bucket,
something I
bucket,
feel
bucket,
I
bucket,
can
bucket, bucket,
remember. I
bucket,
can
bucket,
remember.
bucket, bucket, bucket,
I can
bucket, bucket,
remember.
bucket.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I
Wait,
used to
what?
make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction.
The lore.
But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Retire?
I enjoy telling this story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, also, have you guys seen the new PlayStation 5 30th
All
anniversary?
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
How come it's not working? Oh, it worked. It worked. There we go.
The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Left?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Fine. Fine.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Interesting. Okay. You know what we haven't done yet, though? This. Can we do it? Oh, down? Going down. Up. Go down. Bro, I swear if this music gets me copyrighted, that would be insane. Oh, okay, I think it's just that. Whatever.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I'm trying here, I'm trying.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, trying to input, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
I wonder what would happen if I
Was
put the wrong code.
guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Maybe another time. Hey, I said to go up. It's messing with me right now. Hold on before I continue. For real. What the? I don't remember sparks coming out last time.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door.
The last time we did escape, let's just go ahead and go straight this time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered, but just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Thank you, bucket.
Now, what to do next?
So helpful.
Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
Oh.
It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette.
It's looking
that was
cozy.
useful for when the bucket was
Maybe some
craving
speakers?
convenience. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In
Oh
fact,
yeah,
after some
and look
time,
at we're watching
Stanley
dinosaurs on
realized that
TV.
it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all.
This is
He'd
nice.
never gotten to fully explore what was up
Oh.
there. Never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the
Gotta
mind
look up.
control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley
Whoa,
wasn't
what
sure this.
happened?
The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path.
It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Well, it
I
wasn't.
need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending.
He's not.
This
He
made
doesn't
no
speak for
sense
me,
at all to
Bucket.
the Bucket. It was simply trying
He's
to live
lying.
its life down here as comfortably as possible.
He's lying.
Stanley was inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The Bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the Bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very
So I feel all the time. We need to see the true ending. I don't know how long it would take for us to get to a true ending for this game.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Do we take the bucket with us? Do we take it with us? And do we keep going to the left?
The Bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Last
and
one.
entered the door on his left.
Let's see.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I don't know if we can get the true ending yet. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
You can't put
Was
the
it
wrong
the
one.
bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Did I press the button again? Oh, I'm blind. Go right here. Security cameras.
The monitors jumped to life,
Whoa.
and Stanley nearly
What's
dropped
that
the
one?
bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
What number were we? Honestly, don't remember.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds
Not
of
anymore.
things
It's
does a bucket
just
want
us
to
now.
do or not want to do in the first place? These
We were
questions
245?
raised furiously
Okay.
in Stanley's feeble mind.
That does not look like our office. Oh, is that our office? No, that can't be our office. I don't know.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone
Me
else's
neither.
control? Never! He squeezed
Oh,
the
I think we
bucket
were like
tighter.
400.
His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh, what's this? Oh. There's a 5. So we have a 3 and a 5. Oh, what's over here? 1, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw a button up here. Oh. There's a button up there though. Surely that's the one we need.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, but at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed
No.
the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the
Can't go
bucket have
back.
betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
What the?
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true
Ain't no way.
intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Oh. They actually are doing different things. That's what Stanley's work is. I'm change silly birds. Okay. Oh,
his co-workers were gone.
No!
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I didn't know what button to push for that. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. We are gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you everyone for joining stream. It has been a while. It's been 2-3 weeks since the last one. Sorry everyone. I'm trying my best to be able to get a stream out on the weekends. But yeah, I'm just struggling on writing. Alright, I'm sorry. But so with that being said, I'm not sure exactly when the next stream will be, but we'll see. It just depends on how I'm feeling, 248, to be honest. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes for the next stream. But I don't know. We could do something like Roblox where we can have where people can join in. Or maybe we do another game like this where it's just us playing. Maybe we'll have a new game by then. Who knows? But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. If you did enjoy the stream, don't forget to leave a like. I hope to see you all in the next stream, whenever that is. If you don't want to miss it, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on when exactly it will go live. Because you never know, especially now with these next couple months. We still have the last week of this month. We still have all of October and November. So we still got 2 more months until the semester of college is over, and then we're back to streaming more frequently during the winter. Once again, if another great way to stay up to date is by joining the Discord with that link right there. Once again, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the stream, don't leave a like. See you all in the next one. Have a great night, and as always, have an H2O day.